For this section of the vid, I'm going to show you guys how to farm the Last Wish raid with very minimal effort to get loot every weekly reset. So we go over to the Dreaming City, hover to the Last Wish raid at the top left, and launch it. So what we're going to do is go to a secret room, type in a secret code, and warp to a section of the raid where we can grab items out of a chest. Some of those items include the Supremacy Sniper Rifle, which is a best in slot for PvP, and although it says the power limit is 1060 right now, it has been confirmed on Twitter by the Bungie devs that it will be 1360 in the next season, so they'll just up that. So that's why this raid is so worth doing. It's very minimal effort for an item that stays around for the whole year. Another thing to look out for is the Tyranny of Heaven bow. The Nation of Beasts. Let's see what this is. Yeah, Nation of Beast hand cannon. That's an arc hand cannon. Tyranny of Heaven is a solar bow. And a solar rocket called the Apex Predator. There's also a scout rifle that I do not own called the Transfiguration. And for PvP, I would say it's a best in slot. Everything else is just going to be nice because it's something that you do very little work for. And it stays around for a year. So depending on what the seasonal artifact is, one season you might not use a rocket at all. But the next season, because of the artifact, you might wish you had a solar rocket. And because of this chest farm, you're able to have an Apex Predator in your vault at some point to just use whenever the artifact favors rocket launchers. So pretty much we jump over to that area over there, but we're going to go the route as if you don't have special jumping boots. My Titan has the Lion Rampant Exotic, so it gets to do an extra jump, which is super useful for making these very long jumps. But ideally you can climb up the side of the mountain there too. It also helps to use a sword because you can swipe to correct your jump and reset the jumping with these Lion Rampants. Or your jump in general. So I usually make the jump to the secret area from all the way over here. But there is a path you can go into to make the jump easier. I'm going to go ahead and switch to an auto rifle because typing in the code is going to require a lot of shooting. And so you might have noticed I brought a buddy along with me. That's not only to help type in the code, but also to share checkpoints so we can swap between all of our characters and grab the chest multiple times. So the code we are typing in, I'm about to put on screen right now. You can also use this Imgur link, which is going to be in the description. This is wish number 4. So it warps us to the second encounter, Shuro Chi. And this is what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and put that on my second monitor now and type it in. I'm going to use an auto rifle for that. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do I guess all the snakes. Snakes are done. I'll work on the other two birds. Okay. Double check our work here.
We need to do the middle as well.
The middle? Okay, yeah, we got 4 more birds. Alright, I'll get the right 2 birds. You get the left 2. Alright, I'm gonna double check.
Okay.
Looks good to me. Does it look good to you?
Yep. Yeah, we're getting
Stepping on
started.
the button now that we typed in the code, and it's going to warp us to the second section of the raid. Now we're going to turn around and do some platforming to get to the chest. Again, I do recommend a sword and any sort of special jump boots, though they're not necessary. This is also a great section to farm out any catalyst for weapons. So if a weapon requires a bunch of kills, it's a good idea to go here, because once you open up that door, there's a bunch of low-level mobs that are pretty easy to kill. So you can quickly finish out anything that requires a high kill count. So we're shooting for that alcove down there. And here's the chest. You can also get raid armor, which is super awesome. Check out the helmet I have. Until I got this other helmet, this was my best helmet. And you can get this for this level of effort, for this amount of work. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the chest and see what I get. Okay, I got boots. Let's see what... The roll's pretty good, not going to lie. A 64 total with high recovery. That's definitely worth keeping in the vault. And now I can hold the checkpoint for my friend. But since I'm working on the video right now, I just want to show, just for sake, how a character swap looks. So I'm making him lead, swapping over to my next character, and joining him from the menu. As soon as I join, he makes me leader, and he switches. Or he can just go AFK and make some morning coffee or something. So now I'm joining him. And once he sees I join up, he can make me a leader. And he can switch his own character.
For generations, the Dreaming City housed one of the Awoken's most closely guarded secrets. She is known as Riven. Riven of 1,000 voices. The last known Ahamkara. She has been taken, and her death is your calling.
So you can see that my endgame builds right here are consistent of mostly raid gear. And this method has been just a godsend to keeping up with best in slots in Destiny with very minimal work and time put in. You can do this once a week per character, and the weekly reset is on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And so now once my friend Galaxy joins me, I can make him lead and I can swap out. I got boots again. Pretty bad boots, but probably better than the old ones I had. So I'll delete the old ones and save the new ones. Galaxy's in, so I make him lead and I swap again. I'm hoping to pull a weapon soon, but if not, I'll get it on the second set of chests, which are kind of finicky. So if you want
For
just the
generations,
easy,
the
effortless
Dreaming
method,
City
you
housed
can
one
stop
of
at
the
these
Awoken's most
3
closely
chests.
guarded secrets. She is known as Riven.
The next 3 do
Riven
take
of
some
1,000
finesse
voices,
and a little bit of
the
extra
last
time.
known Ahamkara.
But I still think it's
She has
worth
been
it
taken,
over getting
and her
6
death
people
is your
together
calling.
and doing 3 Last Wish raids. I think that's just a much better alternative. If you do, however, want to do this with 6 people, what you can do is you can do a single Last Wish raid, and at any of these checkpoints naturally when you hit them in the raid, you can have one person hold a checkpoint, all 6 people character swap, and then wait again. Oh, okay, awesome. I got a Tyranny of Heaven bow, which is great, because I need a better roll on that. So I'm going to go ahead and show the Destiny item manager real quick, and it should update the bow in a second, and I'll look at the roll on it. This one is Explosive Head with Sneak Bow. So this one, and it has a Draw Time Masterwork. This one might be better than the one I already have. So I'm definitely going to tag that with a keep, just in case I forget to retrieve it from the Postmaster. So now that Galaxy's in here, I'm going back to my Titan, and I'm resetting the checkpoint on the raid. And we're going to type in a new code to skip to a different checkpoint. Well, like I said, if you do have a raid group together, you can just do the sections and swap characters between the chest checkpoints without typing in a code. If you have a really dedicated group of friends, a clan, etc., you can say on the weekly reset, you do this every single time, you power through the raid, get extra drops, and swap between the chests. You're ideally doing 1 raid, but getting 3 characters worth of chests. So now that I'm on my Titan, going to reset, launch, and I'm typing in a new code. Since I pretty much have as good of armor as I'm going to get realistically, I don't care to get a group of dedicated 6 people and do this the fast and, I guess, more efficient way.
She has been taken, and her death is your calling.
The only piece of gear that I need from this to have best in slot is the scout rifle. Everything else I have an adequate enough roll that it will be just fine.
Finally here, Brother Slayer.
Now what makes the scout rifle so deadly is it's a 150 RPM, so that's the same as some hand cannons. So it has the time to kill of hand cannons, but the range drop off, because it's a scout rifle, that's very, very long. So it can get 2 damage perks. It can get kill clip and rampage, which combine to kill a player in 2 shots, which is incredible for a scout rifle. And the only reason you don't see it everywhere in PvP is because it's a raid weapon, and you have to get lucky to get it. So the reason I went back to my Titan is because I am going to do some finessing with the super to jump over a bridge and get to a chest. So I'm going to go ahead and swap to that right now. Swapping to the code of the missile tree. And now I'm going to type in a new code. So this will be... Let me double check here. We want wish number 5. Want to swap warp to the 3rd encounter, Morgeth. So let me type this in. I'm gonna go ahead and do the corner snakes now. I'm gonna move that to the side monitor again. I'll go ahead and do center birds. All right, you need stripper dragons. All right, you type.
I got it. Does the top one need it too? Yeah, it does.
Yep, the top two.
I couldn't say because it was just so.
All right, that
It's
looks
tiny.
fine to me. Gonna step on.
Yes, it's good.
Okay, so one thing to note is you're going to need rally banners, or is that what they're called?
Yes.
I believe the season pass does give those away if you don't have the materials to buy them, but otherwise you can trade Hawthorne or Petra in the Dreaming City. Hawthorne is in the tower, Petra is in the Dreaming City. Is there another method to get rally banners, if I'm not mistaken?
That's about it.
Okay, well if you, worst case, don't have a rally banner, you can just wait for your super. So I'm going to rally up. The flag gives you your super and some ammo and stuff, and this is how we get across. I'm just straight going to jump, swipe a sword, jump again. Because I have the lion rampants, I don't need to use the super, but we're going to pretend I don't. Now I'm going to intentionally drop a little bit here, because there is an invisible ceiling. It's not too strict, and even if you hit it, it's not going to ruin your jump. But right about here is when your jump would end, so you just missile and touchdown. There's of course a speedrun route to getting to the chest, and I see you disconnected, or did you intentionally leave?
I intentionally leave.
Okay. So I'm going to the chest right now, and then for him to be able to grab the chest, I can't just stand here. I have to go into the earlier parts of the raid so that the checkpoint is earlier in the raid instead of later. So now that I'm in this room and you see some text pop up on the screen, he can join. I like to wait in this back area. And once he joins, I'm not 100% sure how likely the chest is to be there, but it is there sometimes. I don't know the exact parameters to make it 100% consistent. But if it doesn't work after a couple tries, I would just give up and just say, do this on your Warlock and your Titan, since they have methods to jump the bridge. And your Hunter, you just might have to take the L on, unless you know how to checkpoint this correctly. It's still a lot of raid loot for very minimal effort. And look at these, what this mark is right here in my inventory. So since this is a raid piece of gear and it's going to last the whole year, I can use Taken armaments on it. That is a mod that you can get from the chest in this raid that gives you heavy ammo for defeating a Taken enemy with a grenade, which for endgame content is one of the most important things to have. You can do a lot of cheesy strategies by just abusing grenades and heavy ammo. Is the chest there, Galaxy?
I'm gonna go check right now.
Okay.
Still climbing the tree. And we'll have to see. Chest is not there.
Chest is not there? Okay. So if that happens, there's not really much I can do except reload it and make the jump again on a different character. So then I will change character. It will make him auto lead.
So the chest did spawn when you left.
Oh, it did?
Yes.
Oh, then
So
you
do
grab it and you go to the room now.
Okay.
Wow, we might have just found the solution on the spot. That's funny. I'm actually going to hop to my hunter.
Yeah, I'll tell you when to join.
So yeah, now you grab the chest and then you run back to that room. Man, this is exciting. We're already cleaning up this method.
Easy. Okay, you can join now.
Okay.
For generations, the Dreaming City housed one of the Awoken's most closely guarded secrets. She is known as Riven. Riven of 1,000 Voices. The last known Ahamkara. She has been taken, and her death is your calling.
I think this is gonna work. Chest is there. So I'll go ahead and swap another character because we know how finicky this can be. Hold your position. And the boots I got from my hunter were also pretty good. Check that out. A lot of intellect and a lot of mobility with a little bit of recovery. But let me go show you my chest piece so you can see why that looks good to me. My chest piece has a lot of recovery, a lot of intellect, and no mobility or resilience. So by combining both of those together, it'll give me some pretty average neutral stats, which is great because I can tailor that to a lot of different builds. So I'll probably end up keeping those boots.
For generations, the Dreaming City housed one of the Awoken's most closely guarded secrets. She is known as Riven. Riven of 1,000 Voices. The last known Ahamkara. She has been taken, and her death is your calling.
So my recording says we're about 24 minutes in. And if you're a lot faster with your platforming and more diligent with your swapping between characters and whatnot, this will probably take you 20 minutes. And a good way to make friends, if you don't have a really big friends list, is to give the checkpoint away. Just say, hey man, I have the last wish checkpoint. Want to grab some chests for free? They'll probably say yes. Let me see here. I don't know why the most airborne class I'm the worst at platforming with. The top tree Dawnblade, which is what I'm using, can sacrifice a grenade for more airborne control, which is probably worth it for sections like this if you fail like I did. And it also has a dodge, which can help correct mistakes in tandem with the sword. So I got another Tyrannia Heaven Bow. I'll look at that in the item manager after I go hold the checkpoint for Galaxy. Okay, you're good to make me lead in swamp.
Okay.
Okay, so this one has a handling masterwork, whereas the other one had a draw time masterwork. Since I'm using this mainly in PvE, I think the draw time masterwork makes more sense, so the one that my hunter got is better, and the one that my warlock got is worse, I think. You can of course min-max the magazine perk and the sight, or the string. But for purposes of PvE, I don't find those perks to really make a big difference. So anything you get's gonna be good enough as long as those main two perks are what you want. That pretty much brings this video to a close, and I've decided because of the length this is gonna be a separate video. So hope you enjoy it. And this is part of a much bigger guide for getting newer players back into Destiny. Players who have never played the game, and players who are taking a break. This video should be very helpful.